Welcome to the deep dive. You send us your sources, and we dig in and pull out the key insights for you. It's like a concentrated shot of knowledge.
Yeah, your shortcut to getting up to speed. And today, we're looking at a really fascinating piece one of you sent, the 90s Maui.pdf.
Exactly. And this is, it's not a stuffy report or anything. It's very personal. Someone looking back at living and working on Maui in the 90s.
Right, and kind of living in two worlds at once, doing high-tech work, but surrounded by this deep natural island energy.
That's the core of it. So our mission today is to explore that blend. We want to find those interesting bits where technology, nature, and that unique Maui spirit all came together.
Looking for those surprising details and moments that really bring that time and place alive.
Okay, so let's get into it, the 90s. The source paints this picture of, well, massive technological change, right? Digital stuff taking off, information speeding up.
Everything getting connected, yeah, huge shift.
But this is happening on Maui, a place steeped in tradition, with this, tangible connection to the earth and sea.
hmm The author really highlights that contrast, these new digital currents, as they call them, flowing across this ancient landscape, where the Earth's energy meets the ocean and sky. It really sets a powerful scene.
It really does.
Uh,
And the author's move there puts them smack in the middle of it, working up at the Halikala Observatory.
Talk about contrasts. High-tech observatory on a dormant volcano looking out at, the universe.
But it wasn't just stargazing in an abstract sense. The work described is very practical, working for Boeing, a subcontractor for the Air Force.
Yeah, focusing on the nuts and bolts of making the observatory work better, which, reflects that 90s trend, using software to automate complex physical things, bridging digital and physical.
And the first big project was automating a telescope dome.
Hmm.
I mean, the description of someone manually moving it in freezing conditions.
Bundled up in a snowsuit, maybe even nodding off. It really grounds the whole thing, doesn't it? The human side of all this tech.
Totally. So the goal was software automation, using C++, yeah, which was, well, relatively new then for this kind of control.
Right. Using code to make this heavy machinery track stars light years away. It's like teaching a computer this incredibly precise dance.
Great way to put it.
Oh.
And they mentioned working with a guy named Paul on the hardware side, using things like barcode readers.
Yeah, to translate the dome's physical position into digital data. Simple but effective.
And the computer. An IBM pizza box.
Ah, yeah, that little detail just anchors you right in the tech of that era. You can picture it.
Okay, so the core technical problem, what was that exactly?
Well, fundamentally, it was about translation, taking celestial coordinates, azimuths, polar angle, declination, all that, and turning them into precise instructions for the dome's motors.
So telling the dome exactly how to move to follow a star.
Exactly. Which meant sometimes moving really fast, other times making these tiny, tiny adjustments. Nailing that down was the key. It sounds like they did a great job.
And they did. The author describes the first test, a little hum, a quick fix, and then success.
That must have felt amazing, a real breakthrough, and it led straight to automating a second dome.
So clearly it worked and people noticed.
Definitely shows the impact. And there's that mention of Bob Brem, a surfing buddy and robotics mentor from work.
Right. That really shows how blended life was there. Work, surfing, friendships, all mixed together.
Yeah, it wasn't compartmentalized.
Okay, but then things take a turn towards the unusual.
Yeah.
Beyond the regular science, there's this story of a UFO sighting.
On Maui. And apparently it stumped investigators. The conclusion being, and this is a quote, "Nobody on Earth makes anything like this."
Wow.
It's a striking moment in the narrative. A reminder, maybe, that even in these high-tech scientific settings, there's still so much unknown.
Pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible right there on the mountain.
Exactly. Keeps you humble, perhaps.
So it wasn't all just work and mysterious lights. Life was deeply connected to the island itself, the ocean.
Right, the surfing buddies at the observatory again. That
Wow.
shared passion for the waves connecting people.
And the work schedule helped long days, but then longer weekends. Time to actually be on the island.
That drive up and down Halikala sounds like it was part of the rhythm. Those amazing views, the rainbows, fleeting moments of beauty.
Yeah, those moments you just catch. And this shared van rides building community on the commute.
And having a boss who surfs.
That's the dream, right?
Right.
Letting you catch waves before work says a lot about the Maui lifestyle.
It really does. That blend of work and life, finding that balance.
And then there's the nice guy, driving home from the observatory, away from the lights,
In spring.
seeing thousands of stars.
The author links this to personal visions, dreams.
It's a powerful image. And that sensory richness is amplified by the music, the Hawaiian music, especially Israel Kamakawi Wall.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Described as a voice from heaven, the ukulele. You can almost hear it.
That emotional connection comes through so strongly. Seeing him live, hearing him on the radio, it wasn't just background noise.
The author calls his famous medley a carrier of energy, something that connects people across cultures. Music doing what it does best. And that appreciation for the place, the music, it seems to have led naturally into connecting with the Hawaiian culture itself.
Although it wasn't instant, there was an initial, maybe, reservedness, which gave way to real friendships.
Building that trust, sharing that Hawaiian spirit, it highlights the importance of genuine connection.
And the focus on Ohana family and friends, those really tight-knit bonds.
That comes through strongly. And surfing, again, not just a sport, but a way of life, a sacred dance with the ocean.
The source even touches on some deeper beliefs. Descent from Lemuria, links to Adam and Eve. Fascinating glimpses into ancient traditions.
Yeah, and whether you take Lemuria literally or not, the point is the enduring power of these beliefs, the concept of mana, the spiritual energy.
Held by the kahuna, the traditional priests or experts.
Right. It shows how the spiritual is just woven into the fabric of the place, the culture, the land.
Speaking of the power of the land and sea, the description of Paukukalo, that surf spot, wow.
Incredible. A river mouth reef break, its own unique energy.
And that specific day, the waves building from 4-6 Hawaiian feet
Which, as the author explains, is measured from the back, so maybe 8, 12-foot faces.
to 6-8 feet, so maybe 12-16-foot faces,
And then jumping to 10, 12 feet Hawaiian style.
which means
Potentially 20-foot faces or more. Huge, serious waves.
so big the ground was shaking. You feel that raw power just reading it.
And that feeling of being in the right place, right time. Not luck, but alignment, intuition.
Catching that massive set wave, paddling hard but dropping in easy.
That moment of flow, and
Yeah.
then getting tubed riding inside the barrel, pure connection.
You can almost feel the spray. And the friends in the channel, hooting, sharing the stoke.
Amplifying the whole thing, that shared joy, described as probably the best wave of your life.
Yeah, an unforgettable peak experience.
And even the other surfers back on shore just stunned by how quickly the swell built. It validates how extraordinary that day was.
Life wasn't all adrenaline, though. Family life upcountry in Makawao sounds lovely.
Yeah, temperate climate,
Yeah.
avocados, bananas, passion fruit growing. Just abundant nature, a nurturing place for the family.
The author really sums up those 6 years as magical.
It does feel like that reading it. A time of intense connection, physical, spiritual, work, nature, ancient ways, new tech, all woven together.
Witnessing the unknown in the sky, the divine in the waves.
Connecting deeply with the culture, and then creating something new out of it.
Right, on Maui.com. Developed in '96 with John Slowski and Matt Rauch.
This sounds incredibly ahead of its time, building virtual towns online.
Makawao, Paia, Lahaina, with virtual walkthroughs, letting people explore shops, even buy stuff.
That's basically e-commerce and like proto-street view way back then.
Yeah.
Using tech to capture and share the feeling of a place.
The author notes how it anticipated things like Google Maps. Pretty insightful.
It really ties everything together, doesn't it? The tech skills honed at the observatory applied to share the spirit of Maui they'd come to love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All those threads, tech, spirit, nature, relationships, weaving into this vibrant, enduring pattern, as the author puts it.
It leads perfectly into that Zoran quote shared at the end.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. The mountain speaks in stone, human, the ocean in waves, and the stars in silence. Listen to them all, and you will hear the song of the universe.
Really captures that sense of interconnectedness, listening to the world in all its forms.
Makes you want to pay more attention. Which actually leads us to a little activity for you, the listener. We're calling it the Dragon Trial, the resonance of place.
Okay, so the idea is think of a natural place that means something special to you. Could be anywhere, a forest, a beach, a park, a mountain.
Got one. Okay, now close your eyes, picture it. What's the main feeling you get from that place? It's energy.
What does it seem to communicate if you listen closely? How does being there make you feel inside?
Just jot down any words or images or even physical sensations that come up. The author talks about this as the place's unique frequency resonating with your spark.
It's a nice way to think about it, tuning into the energy of a place that resonates with you.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, we've journeyed through this really unique period in the author's life on Maui in the 90s.
Yeah, that amazing blend of high-tech observatory work and this deep dive into Maui's nature, power, and culture.
We touched on the Hawaiian spirit, that incredible surfing day, the mystery of the UFO.
And that pioneering work with onmaui.com, trying to capture place digitally so early on.
Lots of aha moments, I think. The contrast of tech and nature, the power of the ocean, the importance of community, the foresight of that website.
Definitely. It really prompts you to think about your own life, doesn't it? Where do seemingly different things connect for you? What resonates?
Which leads us to our final thought to leave you with. How do the places you spend time and your physical surroundings, maybe your digital spaces too, how do they shape your view of the world and your own place in it?
Something to chew on. How does your environment shape you?
Good question.